Hello, class. Sorry I could not make the class. I have been down for about 2 weeks with back problems. So today is the first day I've been feeling back 100%. So I am going to present my paper with this video and I will post it up in the cyber cafe. So give me a second to share my presentation. Okay, so this is Sync session 3, and it was talking about intellectual property. See if I can speed that up. Okay, basically, intellectual property is the protection of trademarks, trade secrets, patents, and copyrights of goods and services. Items that are intellectual property are books, art, formulas, music, inventions, films, and processes. All of these things need protection against being copied or used by others without permission. The intellectual property is owned by an organization, business, or person. These items need to be protected so that someone else cannot make a profit off of what someone else has come up with. Trademark, patents, and trade secrets work together in protecting intellectual property. Copyright provides the right to display, reproduce, distribute, or perform original works. 8 categories that can be copyrighted are literary works. Um, those are books and such things, as far as textbooks and things. And order, I guess like some organizations or even some universities sometimes have to get permission from the author of the book to reproduce copies of different things from the book if need be. I know when I was in college, some students would go get a book from the bookstore, go and make copies of the chapter that they needed, and then take the book back. And pass that on to other students, which I felt like that was kind of like cheating as far as like copyright laws, because the person who wrote the book is not making any money off of that. Musical works, including lyrics, same thing. I don't know if people like remember Napster and LimeWire and the things where you could like go out there and download music for free, and instead of buying the CDs and things, which was taking money out of the artist's pockets also. Dramatic works, including music, um, I guess like movies or plays or things like that. Pantomimes and choreographed works. So if someone came up with a dance or a whole choreography for a dance or recital, and then somebody else copied it as their works. Pictorial, graphics, and sculptural works. Far as graphics and pictorial things, um, if somebody creates something, paints a picture, and then somebody else goes out and copies it and sells it, that's copyright infringement. Or for example, I'm in a group and someone did some artwork and another person copied that artwork and put it on different things and was selling it. The person who created didn't mind the person like copying it and making like things that she was going to use just for herself, but when she started selling it to other people as her work, then that's where the problem had came in. Motion pictures and other audiovisual works, same thing. Movies and things, buying the bootleg movies from the barbershop. Basically, yeah, you know, the person who walks around selling movies for $5 and you see the heads walking across the screen at the end of the movie or throughout the movie. Um, Sounds and recordings, same, just almost about the same thing as music or whatever, and architectural work. Um, Buildings. If somebody has a plan to build a building and if somebody else does the same exact plan, then you know you stole somebody else's idea. A patent is oh, I'm sorry, and also copyright laws last for the lifetime of the person. So however long the person lives plus 70 years after them. So, and if I'm not mistaken, I think the copyright um, laws have has the longest lifespan. A patent is property rights granted to the inventor for his or her invention. This is granted by the United States at the Patent and Trademark Office. A patent lasts 17 years from the date it is granted and must be kept up with maintenance fees. So, um, for 17 years, your patent is good, and as long as you're keeping up with the fees, the maintenance fees to maintain it. A patent protects your invention from being copied by anyone else. The Leahy-Smith American Investment Act changed the patent laws from the first person to invent to the first person to invent and file. So basically, if I was to invent something and say Bruce was, and I didn't, if I was to invent something and I didn't like file for a patent right away, and then Bruce invented the same thing a month later, and as soon as he or Bruce did the same thing I did a month later, and he, as soon as he finished it, he filed for the patent, then he would end up being the owner of the patent, have the rights and all that to it, and all my work would have just went, it would have just been for nothing because I didn't file. So with these new laws, you, as soon as you make your invention, you have to file in order for you to have rights over it. Functions, features, and processes that are embedded in instructions executed on a computer is protected by software patents. Trademark is a good or service identified by a symbol, name, word, phrase, or design, a combination of the listed elements. These laws prevent anyone from selling or distributing items using the same symbol, name, word, phrase, design that someone has already trademarked and does not stop someone from making the same good or service under another name. The Trademark Act of 1946, the right to use the trademark is allowed by anyone, but once a party files an application to register the trademark, then they are the owner and can sue the person using it unlawfully. So, say like if two people were using, if Nike had the Nike swoosh symbol and somebody else was using that and Nike hadn't filed it. So once Nike files, the other person using the trademark can, Nike can sue them for the use if they're still using the trademark afterwards. The right to register the mark is determined by the first person that used the mark in a business or the first person to file an application to register the mark has the right to register for a trademark. So basically, the first person who uses it is entitled to it. Strengths and limitations of using copyright, patents, trade secrets and laws to protect intellectual property. Advantage copyright has a longer lifespan. Owner can be rewarded damages and any extra profits if infringements takes place are not expensive and registration is easier. Limitations of copyright does not protect an idea, but only an expression of an idea. Advantages of a patent is a design that can be utilized or that is functional is protected. When willful infringement takes place, it offers superior rights and the competitor will owe the patent owner damages if if the infringement created damages. Limitations of a patent. Limitation is the art, art, artificial market or a shortage in technology market which can allow the owner to create a higher price and make bigger profits. Has a short economic life. Disclosure of the exact details are required for monopoly patent pat I'm sorry, for monopoly protection, which can allow competitors to find loopholes and how to loopholes to now have to not have to worry about legal repercussions. So basically, when you file a patent, you have to give the details of everything, the invention and all that other kind of stuff. And then, and like they said, somebody else can go and read everything line for line and find some type of way to be able to copy your stuff without having any legal actions taken out against them. Advantages of trade secret laws: protects other elements that may also that may be also protected with other intellectual property forms, can protect functional or utility items to include formulas or using computer software to solve problems, covers concatenation or expression of data. Limitation of trade secret laws: there is not prevention against someone developing the same design or a design that is similar invention that a trade secret protects. You have to pay close attention to administration and enforcement of legal documents and disclosures, which can be costly. Is not federally protected, so lawsuits vary by the state the company conducts business. Okay, the next section was what is plagiarism and what can be done to combat it. Plagiarism is the use of someone else's words or ideals and presenting them as your own. When using someone else's words or ideas, you are to cite them and give them credit. This takes place in a lot of colleges and universities where students are required to write papers. This is illegal, and the person committing the act can face some serious consequences. Students who commit the act can face being kicked out of school and may find it hard to get into other schools. Ways to combat plagiarism: teach students how to properly cite other works, assign writing assignments that are hard to plagiarize, and use software that can detect plagiarism. So, yeah, from what I was reading, like the highest place that plagiarism take place is colleges and universities, and sometimes it's not on purpose. It's just that students just don't know, and that's why it's just one of the suggestions is to like maybe there should be a class to teach about it, or even like we have the books to like teach us how to properly cite things. Some people just don't care. They'll copy something word for word and figure, oh, this is so old, nobody's gonna know. But you know, you can go and there's software that you can use to put put the papers in and see, you know, if it has been copied and things like that. So that is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, I will read the comments. Thank you.